Hi, my name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, we'll be making this really cool kitchen helper for kids. Check out the video. Right, and so this build is more out of necessity as my 2-year-old daughter is really engaging herself in the kitchen tasks. So I want her to be safe. I also didn't want to reinvent the wheel with one of those. However, one of the factors, it had to be made out of hard wood. As usually, they are made from plywood or sheet materials, just cut out and put together and that's it. However, as plywood and any other sheet materials are ever so expensive, and I actually had some hardwoods lying about in my workshop, that's what I needed. And I decided to actually use a project that the wood whisperer has made himself. I'm pretty certain you have heard about it. Now, he had a video on how to make this, and he also provided some plans as well. To all of that, I'm going to link down below in the description of my video so you can go ahead and check out how the professionals do it. Now, the reason I've actually recorded this video is to show you that, you know, the wood whisperer, he's got far more knowledge than I do, far more experience than I do. His workshop and his tools are more or less industrial. So I wanted to prove a point that with very budget tools like I've got, you can still make something really nice, and it sometimes just needs that a little bit of thinking out of the box. Now, you may not have all the tools I've got, but think what you can utilize in your own workshop. So, without further ado, let's have a look at this build. All the lumber that I've selected for this project is rough sawn, so I need to get that sorted. First, mill it to the correct sizes and that it's basically straight and even. Hence, I will be jointing one face and one side of all the boards on my jointer. After that, we'll head to my table saw. We're going to sort out the other edge, as these boards at current stage are way too thick for what I need. So I need to resaw them to about just above 2 centimeters in thickness, and will bring down the correct thickness on my thicknesser. So it is a process that does take a while, but it's definitely necessary to get great results. With that done, now I'm heading over to my Mitre saw to cut off the ends of the boards to make them square. Now we need to sort out the glue up, the panel that will be the base where my daughter will stand on. For that, I'm just using my Mitre saw to cut out the correct lengths, and after that we'll just glue them together. Now I'm using my Mitre saw to cut the boards to the correct sizes. These will be for the legs of the kitchen helper. I want the support rails that will be on the sides and at the front and the back to look a little bit nicer. So I'm just creating an MDF template that later on I will be able to trace on my support rails. I'm going to use a bandsaw to cut out more or less the shape, and then I'm going to fine tune it, sticking the template with double-sided tape to the rails, and I'm just going to use my router with a straight guided router bit to get the final look. And now it's time for a bit of sanding. I want to pre-sand all the pieces now before assembly, as it just is basically easier at this point. Now I will be cutting a taper on all the legs just to make the project look a little bit more interesting and appealing to the eye. As you can see, I'm using my tapering jig for my table saw. If you're interested, I'm going to drop a link to a video where I show how to make this jig. Very easy and simple to do, and it actually does have a few other options that you can use it for. So it's definitely a worth making project. And now, as we've got all our parts, it's time to put some markings. I'm starting with this side first. Just gonna mark up one leg, and I'm gonna transfer the marks to the other legs as well. Now in this case, I'm going to be using dowels as a joinery method. I think it gives a lot of strength to the joints and is relatively cheap to use and fairly easy. And you don't actually need any special tools for it. You can get some of these really cheap jigs like this one, for example, for your drill. However, I've got this really cool jig for my router with 8mm spiral bit, and that's what I'm going to be using in this case. But as I said, a really cheap jig will do just fine. I'm just marking where the dowel's going to go. And I'm going to transfer all these marks to the other legs and the other pieces. And now it's time to pre-drill all the holes for the dowels. Now I need to drill some holes for the dowels in the front of these boards. Now the jig I've got, in more or less, it doesn't have that ability to clamp it properly. You can do it, but you need a setup of some sort, and I just don't want to waste time on that. So the holes on these boards, I'm actually going to drill on my drill press. It's the easiest way. I've got a fence, so it will be really easy and quick to set up. And now it's time to glue everything together. To start with, I'm just gluing the sides first. As both of the sides are now glued together, I'm just going to clean them up a little bit with my sander. Now, as you can see, I'm using my handheld cordless router with a round-over bit, and I'm just going around all the edges from all the parts of this kitchen helper. And in the corners where I didn't manage to get with the router, I'm just doing a bit of hand sanding. And now it's time to glue everything up together. Now I'm installing the support cleats. I'm using just glue and some screws to make sure it's nice and strong connection. Now I'm going to use my table saw to cut the panel to the correct size. Now I will be attaching a lip to the front of the base, and that will stop the base in place where it needs to be. Plus it will give me the ability to actually screw the base to the front runners, making sure that the base is nice and stable, as only my daughter will be using this kitchen helper, so there's no need of quickly swapping the position of the base. Hence the base will be in semi-permanent state. So as I said, I'm just gonna screw this onto the runners that are already on the kitchen helper. Now I'm gonna apply some wood stain. It's a dark oak in this case. I'm hoping it will give it a really nice look. After 2 coats of wood stain, it's now time for denibbing. I'm using grit 240 for this, and after that we'll be applying the finish. And in my case, I'm going to be finishing the project with Osmo oil, clear gloss, so hopefully it will look really nice. So as you've seen, to prove a point, budget tools can perform as good as any other tools on the market. If you take a bit of patience, you can still make pieces of furniture or anything else that the more professional guys with better tools can tackle with ease. I hope this video was inspiring to you and it brought you some new ideas for your future projects. Let's have a closer look at this. Really happy how this kitchen helper turned out, and it seems that my little baby girl absolutely loves it. Now she can help mummy in making some cookies. For today, guys, that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care.